Hi, you're about to make pajama pants. I'm going to explain step by step what you need to do to make pajama pants, okay? So, first of all, you need to determine what size you are. If you take your pattern, and there's going to be something that looks like this in here, okay? You are going to determine your measurements. You first need to measure your waist and your hip, okay? The waist is the smallest part of your stomach, and the hip is the widest part of your butt, okay? So, Aubrey here, and I'm not going to measure her yet, but what she'll do is she'll have a friend, and she'll measure her waist, and she'll measure her hip. Then after that, if you look at this chart, you're going to find the waist measurement, your waist measurement, and your hip measurement, and then you're going to determine a size from there. There's a chart here that you'll use to determine that, okay? So once you've determined your size, let's go ahead and pause it. So we've determined her size, okay? And so now we're going to start cutting out our pattern pieces. So if you take it out, you're going to have pattern pieces that look something like this. You're going to have two pieces. We're going to cut out piece 1 and piece 2. You want to cut it off on the line of the size that you've determined. So if you zoom in, zoom in on this one. If we're going to cut a size small, this line right here, if you notice, where does it show it? This line is a size small. Do you see the S? Mm-hmm. So you're going to go around the whole thing where it says small. So it's the smallest, right here, actually. There you go. It says that's the small line. You're going to cut along that line across the whole thing. So you're going to do that with pieces 1 and pieces 2. Go ahead and turn it off. Welcome back. Now we just cut out our pattern pieces. If you'll zoom in right here, we cut out the size small, and you'll notice that's how you know that you cut out the size small, pattern pieces 1 and 2. Okay? Then what you'll do is you're going to lay it on the fabric. Now you'll notice this fabric is the right sides are facing together like so, and we've set the fabric on the wrong side, and it's double layered. Okay? So if we open it like this, it's like this, and then we have the fold right here. The reason I know to do that is because if you look at the pattern instructions, there's a key that says the dark gray is the right side of fabric, and then the white is the wrong side of the fabric. And then it gives you some suggestions on how to cut, and you'll notice that it's on the white side, so that means wrong side of fabric. And then the right side is the inside. You see that? That might confuse you, but if you look at your pattern, you'll see that this is what we're supposed to do, okay? So what you're going to do is we're going to start, you want to give me the pins? Start pinning your pattern down. And you'll do that. And some of you might not have as much fabric as this. She's not having a hard time, getting all the fabric in. You might need to squeeze it in a bit. If that's you, then you can work around that. But you'll just go around and you're just going to pin the whole thing down. Now before you cut anything, you're going to grab Miss Bradshaw and make sure that you did it right. Because we can always repin things. We can't always recut. One thing also to note, see this number 1. You want to make sure that the number 1 and the number 2 are facing up. Because if you have them reversed, then your pants are going to turn out weird, okay? So make sure that it's facing you, number 1, up, and we'll pin down the whole thing onto the fabric. Make sure to grab both pieces of fabric too. You are pinning 2 sides of fabric. Remember, 2 sides of fabric you're pinning down.
Yes.
Okay? Go ahead. Now you're done. Alright, we have just pinned down this piece of fabric. Pretend like this one's pinned down too, but for right now, for the sake of the example, this one's pinned down, okay? What you're going to do is you're ready to start cutting out. So you're going to come in and you're going to start cutting. Now, one thing, you just want to go around the very edge, and you're going to be cutting out this piece. Now I want you to zoom in on this right here. There's two triangles. Do you see these triangles? Okay, now I'm going to show you what you're going to want to come close. When it comes to these triangles, these are like puzzle pieces. They're helping you identify what it's going to be like a puzzle piece later on. And I know it's not going to make sense yet, but it will later on. So when you come to these pieces, you're going to just do the exact opposite. You're just going to cut out the triangle exact opposite. So it looks something like that. You want to go ahead and zoom in on that. And now there's either going to be 2 or 1. When it comes to that, that's what you want to focus on, is doing that on the outside of your fabric. So keep on cutting, and then you'll cut out the whole piece. And then you'll have your pieces to make your pajama pants. The end.